In round 3, our experts are going to answer 2 questions apiece, this time for $5 each. And while they're thinking, the other experts are going to bet on whether or not they know the answer. And if they bet right, they're going to make just as much money as the expert who's answering. Let's start with the player with the lowest score. I'll remind everyone that this time that is Ken.
I'm really starting to own this act.
Well, you have plenty of chances to correct that, Ken, and we'll start right now. Who murdered Bruce Wayne's parents? Who murdered Bruce Wayne's parents? So, of course, Trinity and Michael are wondering if you know it or you don't. They're going to say whether they think you do.
No one actually cares about and has no bearing on anything good.
Well, you might be giving them hints when you say things like that. Right. Are we ready? Are you ready, Trinity? Okay. Ken, what's the answer?
Is it Joe Chill?
It is Joe Chill. Joe Chill is correct. Let's see, Michael, do you think he'd get it right? You thought he'd get it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Trinity, do you think he'd get it right? Thought he'd get it right. So Trinity gets $5.
I like her better than you now.
And so
I knew
does
the answer,
Ken.
that's why.
Totally funny.
Because she knew the answer. Okay, Trinity, we go now to you. This is Doctor Who, the TV show. On what ship did the cult of Skaro travel? On what ship did the cult of Skaro travel?
The cult of Skaro. Okay, they were in the distant future, so then...
I believe they were a cult.
I have no basis for assessing the
okay.
difficulty of any of these questions.
That's probably a good thing.
What is the name of Dr.
Okay,
Blank?
I got it.
Okay, you ready? You guys ready? You're in with your guesses?
Yes.
Trinity, what's the answer?
Okay, it's Platform 5.
I'm sorry, it's the Genesis Ark. I would also have taken the Void ship. As you know, wrong and right. You always take the right.
I thought
Michael gets it. Michael gets it.
I believed in you.
I'm so sorry.
So, Michael, you get it there, and we go to you now. What is the subtitle in the category of Dungeons & Dragons of the 2008 parody film The Gamers, which follows a group of D&D players as they try and make it through an adventure? The subtitle of the 2008 parody film The Gamers, following a group of D&D players. And they're studying you, Michael. They're trying to figure out if you, in fact, are a gamer.
A Geek Odyssey?
It's Dorkness Rising.
Oh!
Dorkness Rising. Maybe it's good that you didn't get it right. And Ken, did you think you got it?
Dorkness Falls.
And for you, Trinity, you thought he'd know it. Okay, Ken, what actor in the Christopher Nolan movies reprised a role played by Robert Swenson in an earlier version of the franchise? What actor in the Christopher Nolan movies reprised a role played by Robert Swenson in an earlier version of the franchise? Ken thinking, Michael looking, Trinity wondering. Dun dun. And Michael and Trinity should be putting on their boards whether or not they think Ken is right or wrong. They're in. Ken, an answer?
I'm going to go with Michael Caine.
The answer is Tom Hardy as Bane. Tom Hardy as Bane. Michael, did you think he'd get it right? He thought he'd get it wrong.
I have so little confidence in
You
you.
do, and Trinity thought Trinity with great faith in you. So Michael is the one.
Consistently disappointed.
Trinity, here's your second question in round 3 in the category of Doctor Who. Who was the Marshal of Mercy? Who was the Marshal of Mercy?
God.
This is
I just watched that episode too.
Just watch that episode. Ken and Michael, you guys ready with your guesses? Trinity will take an answer.
You're looking for the character's name, right?
Yeah.
It was the Marshal was Marshal Noble.
It was Isaac. Isaac was the Marshal of Mercy.
Sorry,
Michael
guys.
thought you'd get it wrong.
I really didn't know that.
Ken thought you'd get it wrong. They get it right. And we come now to the last question of this round. It goes to Michael in the category of Dungeons & Dragons. In a 1997 interview during his rookie season, what future NBA superstar said, "If playing D&D and dressing up in my purple sorcerer's hat, velvet cape, and magic wand is nerdy, call me a nerd, though I'd prefer you called me Merlin"? In a 1997 interview during his rookie season, what future NBA superstar said, "If playing D&D and dressing up in my purple sorcerer's hat, velvet cape, and magic wand is nerdy, call me a nerd, though I'd prefer you'd call me Merlin"? Michael Rooney, do you have an answer?
I believe I do.
Let's hear it.
Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan is correct. Let's see what we have from your competitors. They both thought you'd get it right. $5 for everyone. We are going to be back with round 4, which is our expert of experts round.